Hi everybody, Jared here with Day Traders FX. Time to have a look at the markets. We had a pretty good start last night as things got moving for the open, on Sunday evening and into the UK session. We had some nice little continuations, and now we've got some good setups to continue working with as the week gets started. Quick little look, we've seen a pretty down day for the US markets once again. Oil's back down below that $95 mark. The Dow's down, another down day for the Dow, another down day for the S&P. Everything's kind of having a hard time. Not too much news today. We heard a bunch of news out of the Swiss National Bank that we've heard before. Nothing too much out of the ordinary. We will have some movement this afternoon. Remember, with the Australian monetary policy minutes, that's a pretty good mover. That's kind of like our FOMC. So there can be some good activity this evening in the Australian dollar. Keep an eye on that. For the euro tonight, we have the ZOO. That's a pretty big one to keep an eye on, and then core CPI and core retail sales coming out of the U.S. So right at the U.S. Open tomorrow, it's going to be pretty busy and pretty hectic, and we're going to be real careful during that time and see if we can get a little bit of follow through on some of these trends and catch some of that movement. You can see here that the dollar index has recovered quite a bit. This is the daily chart. In the last several days, it's just been climbing nicely. It's just shy of the 81 mark. Big resistance at 81 and big resistance at 82. If we can get above 81 and above 82, it'll be monumental. That'll be yearly highs and multi-year highs. And so we'll see if that's going to happen or not. But keep an eye on that dollar index right there and see where things go. Euro dollar is kind of just hopping around. This euro dollar opened up with a little bit of a gap this week at the open, and then just consolidated and continued down below that 2900 area for the UK session. Now it's kind of finding its low just above 28 even, and it's starting to kind of consolidate here and make a little bit of a pullback. Here's a couple of things I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for this to potentially come up and fill this gap. The bottom of the gap is just above 12900. It's about 129.15, or excuse me, the top of the gap is about 129.15, and the bottom here is about 12900. So I'm not going to be surprised if the euro comes up and fills this, but I think we're going to have some nice opportunity. This is Friday low, our Friday's low right here, and if the euro comes up, I think it's going to find a lot of resistance right there. It's going to be a little bit of a trend line break and a couple of things, and there's going to be a lot of resistance there, and I'll be looking to probably sell at about this 12900 area, maybe just a little bit above or below. We're going to kind of see how things go, but I think this is a good area to start looking for some longer term sells, some retracements, and then selling this thing back down to 12800 at least. So we're going to be looking for that. That would be great if that level gets tested and we can jump into that and continue shorting it down into that 12800. So that's kind of what I'm looking for now. If we don't get anywhere near that, the market just kind of stops where it is, then I'm looking at this little short-term trend line on the 5-minute chart, and I think if we start getting below about 128.40 to 128.35, right in that general kind of 5-pip area, I'll start looking for some sell opportunities to go into these lows and beyond. So just below, really below about 128.50, we can start looking for some sell opportunities on this area, and it's kind of right there. We just want to get it a little bit lower into that, like I said, 35 to 40 area, and it should be able to kind of continue down nicely. Otherwise, we're going to look for retracement up to 12900 and sell from there. So let's keep an eye on these short-term breakouts and look for a little bit of a longer-term retracement in that area and start trading this pair down. Pound dollar is looking pretty choppy. It was made an attempt at this level, and we tried to grab some of this, and it's just not ready to break this 160.50, 160.60 area. In fact, it just tested it over the last several hours and finally bounced off it. Still in kind of retracement mode. We still see that we're making some lower highs here, and it's been kind of working on this downtrend for a couple of weeks now, about 2 solid weeks. It's been making pretty consistent lower highs and lower lows, and so we're starting to get that reversal, but it's still going to be crucial to get a break of this 160.50. We got to get below 160.50 before we can get some nice opportunities to sell. And I also like that it's coming up to some of these moving averages here, my 100 and 200 day moving average. I think these are going to be kind of good areas to start shorting this pair and taking it back down into those lows and hopefully breaking the lows. So just kind of watch this zone right here and let's see how things look as the market goes on. We could potentially see some sell opportunities even below about 160. 160.85, which is just kind of in this little area down here. We just want to make sure that it can kind of get back below some of these Friday lows and some of these crucial levels. So about 160.85, 160.90 might end up to be some nice little opportunities, and those are about 20 pips away. So just keep an eye on that, and that would be an opportunity to trade it back down to the 160.50 area. Euro yen, looking for this euro yen to kind of test resistance once again here as well. This is 120.75, and it's just about hit it. It's not too far off, 10, 12 pips off that right now, and that's going to be some pretty good resistance. Probably going to see a little bit of a break and a little bit of a continuation, and if we do, then I'll look for a little bit of a sell opportunity. I think we might be able to get about 25 pips out of it if we get a break of this 102.75. 25 pips, just take it right up into that 10300 area, which is going to put us right back at about Friday's lows right there, and some pretty strong support, and then we'll look to dump it. But I think there's a nice little 25 pip run above 102.75. Otherwise, we're going to watch this little 5-minute trend line and just look for a break of the trend line. Simply look for a break of the trend line, and if it starts getting below that area, then we'll look for that sell opportunity below the trend line. But again, short-term buy above 102.75. Pound yen looking pretty choppy. It was looking good this morning, and then as it retraced, it kind of got back into that choppy channel. Aussie dollar, the Aussie dollar is looking pretty interesting here. I think we might have ourselves a little bit of a short-term buy if we get above some of this. You can see there's support and then some resistance right here, and that's just about 99.70-ish or so, 80, or excuse me, there's the numbers right there, 99.95, right in that general area, and I think we might have a little opportunity to trade that up into the Friday's lows right there. So, and those Friday lows are about 100.18 to 20, right in that general area. And so this would be, like I said, about a 25 pip trade if we can break above this 99.95 area and just trade it into those Friday lows. So a little short-term opportunity there. Otherwise, we're going to be looking for this thing to get back below some of these lows, 99 kind of 65, 99.60 area, and continue taking this pair down. So I think we're going to have some nice little channels there. Again, trading it into the Friday lows above this recent high, and then potentially as high as this next level right here, which is about our 100.50. That's been a very crucial level, and we're not going to ignore that one, so that could very likely be in play as well on this retracement. So Friday lows, target number 1, and then this 100.50 is our target number 2. Otherwise, we're going to trade through these lows, which are about 99.60 to 65. Gold's continuing down and kind of staying down, and everything else is moving around a little bit, but I like these levels, and I think we've got some very nice setups in the works, so keep your eye on the charts. We'll have some updates coming in the chat as well. Best of luck, guys, and we will see you in the chat.